The Syrian Foreign Ministry says Syrian government is quite willing to cooperate with sincere and honest parties to combat and eradicate terrorism, sparing humanity its evils and horrors. Syrian Army units advance on several axes in the strategic areas of Daraa, Quneitra and Damascus southern countryside triangle. And Syria's UN envoy says unless counter-terrorism resolutions are enforced, all humanitarian measures would be insufficient. Good afternoon, this is news in English from the Syrian Arab television in Damascus. Syrian military units established full control over the areas of al-Habbariya, Khirb Sultana, Hamrit and Talkurin in the northwestern countryside of Daraa, killing a number of terrorists from Jabhat al-Nusra and destroying their weaponry. While in Idlib countryside, army units eliminated scores of terrorists in Jub al-Ahmar, Abu Dhur and other adjacent areas. In Palmyra countryside, an army unit foiled a terrorist attempt to infiltrate into Araq, a gas station. Several terrorists were killed or wounded during the attempt, and their weapons were destroyed. Foreign and Expatriates Ministry addressed two identical letters to the United Nations Secretary General and head of the United Nations Security Council about the heinous crimes that armed terrorist groups affiliated to the Islamic State in Iraq and Syria, ISIS, are committing against Syrian civilization in Hasakeh countryside. In its two letters, the ministry said that the recent sweep by ISIS gangs had attacked Tel Hermoz, Tel Shamiram and Tel Rumman, Tel Nasri, Tuma, Yelda, Al-Ahwaz, Tel Quran, Tel Tamar and other villages in the countryside of Hasakeh city. The letters added that many civilians were killed and over 200 of them, including children and women, were kidnapped. More than 690 families were displaced and religious places were destroyed, citing the torching of Tel Hermoz historic church, one of the oldest in Syria and the world. The ministry said that these crimes are only the tip of the iceberg of atrocities committed against Syrian people and an attempt to sow mischief, hatred and estrangement among compatriots. The letter stressed that the international community is called on to prove adherence to its counter-terrorism commitments through full cooperation with and coordination with the Syrian government, which is preventing the spread of international terrorism. The letters affirmed that Syrian government is quite willing to cooperate with the sincere and honest parties to combat and eradicate terrorism, to spare humanity its evils and horrors. Syria stressed that any measures that might be taken to stop the humanitarian suffering of needy Syrians would be insufficient as long as the relevant counter-terrorism resolutions of the United Nations Security Council are not yet put into effect. This Syrian point was made clear by the Syria's permanent representative to the United Nations, Bashar al-Jafari, as he was addressing a Security Council session dedicated to discuss reports on a humanitarian situation in Syria. Al-Jafari said that fighting terrorism demands putting an end to the practices of the Turkish, Qatari, Saudi, Israeli alliance, which is providing support, funds and arms to the Islamic State in Iraq and Syria, ISIS, Jabhat al-Nusra and the Free Army and other terrorist organizations, reiterating that tackling the humanitarian situation in Syria needs first and foremost diagnosing the main cause of the problem, namely terrorism. Al-Jafari added that it is high time that those who have long been denied acknowledged that the main cause that led to a humanitarian crisis emerging in a number of Syrian areas is the rise and spread of foreign-backed terrorism. Prime Minister Wael Halaqi met with a popular delegation representing the Syrian communities in Kuwait. Al-Halaqi stressed during a meeting with the Syrian expatriates their great responsibility in bridging cooperation between their motherland Syria and the countries they are residing in, by working to enhance social, political, cultural and economic relations. Al-Halaqi pointed out to the role played by the Syrian expatriates in uncovering the real nature of the global war against Syria. He explained the importance of the state's role in standing by Syria to face terrorism that might spread to them, adding that confronting the states that support logistically and finance the armed terrorist groups, especially in the neighboring countries like Turkey and Israel. For their part, the delegation members stressed that they are standing by their country Syria to confront the terrorists, and they are working to enhance the Syrian people's capabilities to reconstruct their country, as they evaluated the Syrian government interests with the expatriates and fighting the terrorism. Russia has condemned the barbaric act committed by the ISIS, which has damaged the priceless monuments that belong to the Iraqi cultural heritage. The Russian Foreign Ministry said in a statement that the ISIS terrorists have shown the real face to the whole world, which is so much far from Islam. On the other hand, the French President François Hollande has described the ISIS crimes as barbaric, as they are trying to destroy everything that belongs to humanity. It is to be noted that France has been and still supporting and financing terrorist organizations in Syria under the name of moderate rebels. Daraa and a number of Yemeni cities have witnessed mass demonstration in support of the decisions of the High Revolutionary Committee and the Constitution announcement. Refusing the foreign interference in their affairs, the participants have held signs that support the popular support for the High Revolutionary Committee, as they have also stressed that the Yemeni people will always be on the army's side against all foreign schemes targeting their homeland. With this, we conclude our news for today. Thank you for watching. For more details about Syria and the region, and if you view this bulletin again, you can always visit our website in English, www.syriaonline.sy. Now to the latest business and market news with Nani Man, but after a short break.
Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. The Lena Bailey Gallery for Leather has opened in Milano of Italy, including Syria and a number of well-known international companies, and will last until tomorrow. The gallery includes leather industries, accessories, bags, shoes, and leather manufacturing machines. It is considered as one of the greatest galleries specialized in leather manufacturing because it belongs to the international Lena Bailey Gallery. Dealings at Damascus Stock Exchange exceeded 28 million Syrian pounds, 931,000 during the last week, as the trading volume reached 190,512 stocks, while the DWX index registered about 1,249.33 points. The Central Bank of Syria has set the price of the US dollar at 219.79 Syrian pounds for the banks, as it has also set the price of the euro at 250.04 Syrian pounds for the banks and 247.93 Syrian pounds for interfering in the commercial and non-commercial purposes. And now over to some main currencies exchange rates according to the bulletin of the Central Bank of Syria. Ladies and gentlemen, this was our economic news for today. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.